First things first, I'm having breakfast. And now I'm having second breakfast. I've got to load up because it's going to be a long day of moving. This is my mother-in-law's frittata. How good does that look? My goal today is to finish moving all of the Lego City stuff. I actually condensed it last night because this stuff was spread out on those two tables over there. And look at that. It's pretty much empty. I can start breaking down these tables like immediately. But before I do that, I want to move all this stuff. So we've got the medieval village, we've got Snow White, some platform coverings, some road plates, some of the raised platform stuff, more Winter Village stuff, the giant double Disney castle, the zoo, this mountain, the Ninjago mountain, the campground, all these trees. I need to decide if I want to remove the trees or if I want to transfer them just like that, because of course all these plates are individual Mills plates. So if I got to decide, like, am I going to remove all the trees or am I just going to pile them in the van like that? I'm sort of leaning toward piling them in the van like that. And then the final section of the beach as well. I also want to remove all this stuff under here. There's still quite a bit because my end goal is to move all this stuff, break down these tables, and pretty much have this huge section of the Lego room completely empty, because that would just be a huge accomplishment during this moving process.
My name is Barry Allen. I am the Flash. Look at me run up and down those stairs so quickly. My goodness. Just ripping it. Pretty cool how we can time-lapse the whole experience.
I am exhausted. Oh my gosh, so many flights of stairs. We're at a point here where I'm excited because I took the mountain off the raised platform there and I shifted that little section of the raised platform over, and that's going to expose the zoo, which is sort of locked in place here by the Ninjago stuff, the mountain, the observatory, which was on the raised platform, all these road plates, etc. I just remember it being so hard to install this. Like, it was just a difficult task just because I was popping up through these access holes. Couldn't access it from the backside. And some of these modules are pretty big, but I'm about to pull it apart right now.
I've got to say, I don't really remember how the zoo comes apart. I don't really remember where the gaps are, how many different modules it splits into. But once I start doing it, it sort of comes back to me. It's like, oh yeah, I got to pop the roof off the aviary. It splits into two sections. The aquarium is separate from the entrance in the fish pond. And the exhibits on the left-hand side with the monkeys and the lions and the pandas and all that sort of split into different sections as well. It's like, hey, this guy that put this together might have actually known what he was doing. That's pretty cool. But it'll definitely be different when I put it in the new Lego City. And same with everything. Everything's going to come with like a newer, bigger look.
The entrance, the fish pond, looking into the panther display, and then also the black bear display. And then there is the aquarium looking into the monkey area and also the aviary. The aviary splits in half. That cliffside was right up against the raised platform. And then over here we have pandas, monkeys. So this was actually turned that way and slid in right up next to the lions, crocodiles, and elephants. So it actually splits into quite a few different sections, and it's actually fairly easy to move. Yay! Good thing I made it like that in the past. I'm pretty happy with myself, actually. I forgot how many different sections it splits into. I just thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult because I remember it being incredibly difficult to install. But breaking it apart seemed to be pretty easy. So there you go. Woohoo!
Alright, it's time to transport the zoo. Pretty easy to do, and I'm pretty excited about it. Oh man, I thought it'd be way more difficult than it was. So that's a good thing right there. And in addition to that, I want to break up the campground because that's the next thing that we're going to move. So I want to come down here and just be like, alright, let's move all these modules. I built this stuff so long ago, I can't even remember how I decided to section it up on the different plates. But it turns out it was done in a pretty cool way. I'm happy to see that.
All right, here we have the beach, campground, and Ninjago area all split up. So we've got some big beach plates, the old fishing store, the lighthouse, this hill right here with the cave underneath, the creek beside, Batman doing some canoeing there, my custom cabin, the gravel road, and the water pump, some miscellaneous campground plates, the Lego Ideas treehouse with grop, bridge going over top of the creek there, the A-frame cabin, there's the aquarium once again. This is one giant Mills plate right here. That's one giant plate. Like, what? Are you kidding me? I forgot that that was one huge piece. You got the big mountain, the temple on the top, and then the lower ridge with another temple, the two little fishing shacks below. Then you can see some of the brickwork that supports it underneath. Pretty cool. Glad that it just came apart so easily. Some more campground plates over here. Also Winnie the Pooh. And now I can very easily just transport these in the next load. It's got to be the next load though, because the van is loaded. Check it out. I know it's not the most compact load in the planet, but you know what? I'm trying to do this in a way to try and preserve my Lego. I don't want it to all get destroyed because I put so much time and effort into building this, and if I have to do an extra couple loads because of that, well, so be it, because I can tell you what, I spent so much time building all this stuff, and I would hate for it to just get like hucked in a box. But we got the Mountain View Observatory Mountain there, also Santa Claus's Mountain, pretty much the entire zoo. There's a box full of Winter Village stuff and miscellaneous plates right there, the giant double Disney castle, and then some of the raised platform plates at the very back. Yeah, it's all loaded up, and just one more load to go, I think, and then the city tables will be completely empty. In regards to destruction, it really hasn't been too bad so far, other than trees. Like, trees, there's not really a friendly way to transport those. Luckily for me, most of my trees have the flex tubing running through the center, so they're really strong, but there's some that don't, like these, like this style. It doesn't have the flex tubing, so the leaves just like fall off and go everywhere, but they're just gonna have to be repaired when I get them all over there. So I don't think that the remaining stuff is an entire load, so that's good, because then I can start to transfer all the stuff underneath. Definitely not the mansion, that is a two-person job, but there's a bunch of modules under here, like, oh, the Natural History Museum, and some Betty Crocker angel food cake. There's also the Quickie Mart, Home Alone house, Simpsons house, all those skyscrapers. So if I don't fill the load with this stuff, then I can start working on all the stuff that's underneath the tables. Specifically these like big bins of roads too. Those have got to go. And let me tell you folks, I am spoiled today. Mrs. Bricksie is making donuts. Do I need more sweets? No, but will I eat more? Absolutely.
I'm starting to think maybe I should have stuck with my original plan and just got like the 30-foot truck. And then I could have like transferred all this stuff in one big load. Maybe two loads. With that said, I think this van has actually way better suspension, and it probably minimalized the amount of casualties that we had during moving. Also, it's smaller and easier to drive, not that I'm really too concerned about that, but I like the fact that I have this van for like 2 weeks if I so choose. I think it's just all part of the journey. Look at that, we're loading up the second load. There we go. It's all loaded up safely back there between the seats. I've got some banker's boxes full of Lego. And then on the passenger seat, I've got the Quickie Mart and Grop. What do we think? Did this load survive? Whoa, the Eiffel Tower's still standing. That's good. And so is the mountain. Built real strong. Beauty. And here we go with the second load. Hey, it's actually really cool moving all this stuff. It's because it's like bringing back memories. It's like, oh my gosh, I remember this mountain. I remember building this Mills plate for the Quickie Mart or the Lego Ideas treehouse, etc., etc., etc. It's just neat sort of having it in your hands again. There we go. The second load was a success. Nothing really damaged other than those blasted trees. To be expected, though. It is just wild to think that all of this fits in this little tiny tiled area underneath the stairs. Like, are you kidding me? Holy cow. What are we going to do with all this space? Well, going to build something epic, that's for sure. So there's a bit more city stuff at home, and also all that stuff underneath the table as well. So I'm thinking of doing 3 loads, maybe even 4. I'm pretty ambitious right now. I want to bring everything over here. That's my goal. So we've got all this stuff here,
and then also all the city stuff that I brought yesterday in this room. Now, why didn't I put all the stuff that we brought today in this room? Because I was giving it a little bit of thought last night. Well, actually giving it more than a little bit. I was giving it a lot of thought last night. And what I want to do is bring everything here, all the shelving, all the sets on the shelving, all the city stuff, all the wood for the city tables. Like, I just want to get all the moving done. So then I can return that van and I can start setting this place up. But why not get all the moving done? Like, just get it done. Let's get it over with. Let's move on, right? I think that is probably the best thing to do, or the best thing to focus on right now. So I didn't want to put those sets in this room, because what I'm thinking is, once I get all the lumber here for the city tables and I get all the shelving here, I'm going to want those rooms to be cleared so that I can go around with the shelving and set it up. And then I can put all the sets that are just on the floor in here on the shelving. Now what I could do is just take all the sets that are at home right now on the shelves and put them on the city tables, bring in all the shelves, set up all the shelves, and then bring all the sets and put them all right onto the shelves. But I just want to focus on getting the moving done, and that's going to make the process a little bit slower, I think. I think it's just full out, like, let's just get all this stuff here, and then I can figure it out. Because, for example, those shelves, they're all going to have to be reconfigured. It's not going to go back in, like, the sets aren't going to go back on display the exact same way that they are right now. So it's all going to be reconfigured, and also all needs to be cleaned as well. So if I can get everything here, then I can focus on cleaning it all, building a new display that's different than the one at home, and I can focus on getting that truck back to U-Haul. Because I don't want to be driving around in this van. I want to get this process done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So I'm just going to bring all the Lego here, and I'm just going to like huck it right here in the front. I'm going to try and make it fit in this carpeted area, maybe going to like here max, so then I can actually start constructing the tables back there. Now, some people have asked me, they're like, why are you bringing all your Lego here before your tables are constructed? It's going to create a ton of sawdust, and your Lego is going to be covered in sawdust. Well, I'm just going to run an extension cord out back, and I'm going to do all my wood cutting outside. I'm not going to do any wood cutting in here because I don't want my Lego to get covered in sawdust. So that's why I'm not scared to bring all the displays, all the Lego, all the lumber, pretty much everything from that basement here, and then I can start constructing the new displays, configuring those, and start constructing the Lego city tables as well. All right, let's go back for another load. Actually, before I head back home, I want to address one more thing. I know, it's echoey in here. It's echoey! Echoey! It's even more echoey in this room. But believe me, I've said this plenty of times, I'm very confident once I flank the walls with shelves and I put Lego sets on those shelves, the echo will be gone because the walls are sort of padded by shelving and Lego. So I almost guarantee it, like 100,000%, that the echo will be gone. Even back here used to be pretty echoey. Like this used to be like really echoey. It's still echoey to a sense, but once we put the carpet down, it really minimized that. So once again, once we get all the Lego in here, that echo is going to be significantly reduced as well, because this is just like a wide open room right now. If you go into any wide open room, it's going to be echoey. Once you get some stuff in there, it definitely fixes the echo problem.
I wonder how many times I've gone up and down these stairs. It's actually wild. There are so many different modules in the Lego City, and you know what? We're just getting started because I've got to go up and down the stairs a bajillion more times when we move all of the sets out of here as well. So we're getting everything out from underneath the tables, and I'm also moving some of the medieval stuff. And then from there, it's just sort of filling all the different nooks and crannies in the van. It does take a lot longer to load the van than to unload the van, because you're sort of like strategically packing it, or I'm strategically packing it to fit the most amount of stuff in there and also make sure it doesn't topple over, or things don't topple over and absolutely destroy all of my hard work. And unloading it is really quick because I don't got to go up a flight of stairs. So the commute is just like way shorter, and I don't have to strategically pack it. I can just offload it anywhere. So in addition to bringing all of the Lego City stuff, I also brought some boxes and some drawer units, and those all have to go upstairs.
Here's a pretty sweet angle of all the stuff that we brought in today. You go up the stairs and you just see it all from the bird's eye view. Yeah, that's pretty epic. Then we've got all the road plates and train track and vehicles and all sorts of different stuff in those totes there. Realistically, I should be emptying those totes because when I pack up all my sets, I want to put them all in totes because they're not like Lego City stuff. They don't need to be spread out in the back of the truck. Realistically, they can just be like stacked in totes. But these ones lack lids, so you can't really stack the totes anyway. Luckily, Kevin, my buddy, he's got some totes that have lids, so he's going to lend me those, which will be a huge help. I think moving the sets is going to be a lot more efficient because, for example, Speed Champion vehicles, you can throw them all in one tote. Lego Creator Expert vehicles, same thing. Technic vehicles, pretty much the same thing. There's a bunch of different examples just like that will be so easy to move in bulk because you can put them in totes and stack them. So in addition to bringing all that stuff, I also brought all this stuff upstairs. That's why I bought a breath. Got that little part bin there, and then some more drawer units under there. The silly heads in the corner along with another drawer unit. And then these shelves are sure coming in handy right now. Eventually I want to get rid of all these ugly boxes, but like I've mentioned earlier, my number one priority right now is just to get everything over here. And then once everything's over here, I can sort and organize and try and clean it all up. It's just moving is like top priority. Get it here and then sort of digest it. That's going to be the last load for the day because at home, it's like, it's ready to go. Like we're ready to take tables down. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's pretty sweet. That's going to be tomorrow's task for sure. I just love the fact that we were able to transfer all of the Lego City stuff, like all of it. So there's the city. Well, Hedwig wasn't in the city, nor was Hogwarts. But for the most part, this is all Lego City stuff. But then you got to remember that train track and also road plates, they consumed a ton of space as well. Like that is all road plates, that's all train track. And then there's all the stuff in the other room as well. But not too bad. I was able to move the entire city in 2 days, and it was a total of 5 loads. 5 loads. Not too bad at all. I like the suspension in that van. Nothing really got damaged, so that really worked out. And now we're ready to take down the tables, move all the lumber, and then move on to the sets. So we're just cruising along here. Pretty fantastic. Imagine if I'm able to do 3 loads a day for the next few days. We'll get her done. We'll get her done pretty quick, which is awesome. I forgot to mention that all the command strips have been removed from the walls. Yay, look how clean those look. Wow, that is pretty fantastic. I've got to bring that Bricksie sign up there. I've got to bring that. I think that'll be like one of the last things that I transport just because when I bring it over there, I want to install it immediately. The next thing that we're going to start bringing is the lumber, like I've been mentioning. I got to take all these tables apart, and now I feel confident that I'll be able to take them apart. I think before I start taking them apart, I'm going to move maybe the mansion and the ski hill. However, with that said, I could just start on that side over there and work my way this way. And as I take them apart, I can just slide the mansion and the ski hill over here because they're going to be quite easy to take apart. Honestly, like each top is only held in by like 1 or 2 screws. Well, 2 screws at the least, I would say. Yeah, and then you just pop the screws out, lift the melamine sheets off. That exposes the frames, and then I can take the frames apart. Oh my gosh, when's the last time you saw the Lego room like this? There's nothing under here. I had stuff absolutely everywhere. Like everywhere. Like it's just nuts how much stuff I had packed into this room. Like it's wild. I didn't even know it was that much stuff. Like look at how much stuff we brought over there already, and we still haven't even touched the sets. And the sets are like, it's a lot. Like it's crazy. We got sets there. We've got sets on the track shelf going all the way around. There's stuff on the bulkhead up there, like all the helmets. And then there's all the Ninjago stuff, which will be in the city. And then we've just got everything. But you can see what I mean. Like a lot of these can be put into totes. For example, Speed Champions, they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shelves essentially. Well, I guess those ones are Batmobiles, but those could essentially go all in like one box. So we're taking care of 9 shelves in one cube box. So like the sets, that definitely look intimidating, but they don't have to be like spread out throughout the back of the truck. However, the bigger ones have to. Like the Razor Crest, I'm not going to put that in a box. Wow, I'll just park it in the back there and beside the Venator and the Super Star Destroyer, and then I'll drive super slow, just like I did with the modular buildings, and it should make the trip. The only two that are actually, there's 3 that I'm like really concerned about. The AT-AT, I'll probably have to like remove its legs and then just lay it sideways on the truck. Like just remove its panels and stuff and lay it down, I guess, or just like put some bubble wrap between its legs and lay it on its side. So that one's actually gonna be pretty easy. But this one here, when I transported it the first time, it actually broke just because the stands are so flimsy. Like when you compare the stands of that one with the Venator, it's like night and day. The Venator is just like rock solid strong. Another one I'm a little bit concerned about is the Death Star 2. But when I moved that one originally, like when I moved it down here, there was no casualties. What I did was just found a perfect square box that was essentially the same size of that. And then I wrapped a blanket around the base of it. You can see like the flimsy Technic base. And then I just put it in the box and it was like perfect. Just drove slowly and carefully and then it was all good. But everything else like can be laid down or just popped in the back of the van. All the helmets can go in 1 or 2 boxes. All this stuff will just get transported the exact same way. I wonder how many loads it's going to take to transport all the sets. I'm going to say probably 3. It depends on how much stuff I can put into boxes. For example, maybe I can put that entire shelf in 2 boxes. And if we get it all packed away into totes or boxes with lids, I can fit so many in that van, it's insane. So it really comes down to how well I pack it. And then the lumber I'll be able to haul in one load. It's just a matter of bringing these big sheets up. I'm not too concerned about this one. That's easy peasy. But this one here, that's like 40 inches by 96 inches. It's 8 feet long. I can't get that thing upstairs. So my buddy Kevin, I think he's coming here tomorrow, which is when I'm filming this video, I'm filming it on Sunday. So I did all this stuff on a Sunday. But Kevin is coming here tomorrow and he's going to help me haul these big sheets up the stairs. And hopefully we can get all this stuff broken down and out of here tomorrow, and this whole room will be empty, and then it's going to be easier for me to pop a ladder in here and get all the stuff off the track shelves and off the bulkhead shelves because there'll be so much room for activities. And then it's set transport, and then once all the sets are moved, it's billy unit transport. In regards to the PAX units, I would have to take those apart to bring them out of the basement here. And there's no bloody way that I'm going to take those apart. The backs of them are actually nailed on. And I don't think they'll ever go back together the same. And it would be a nightmare to try to peel out all those little tiny nails that hold that back panel on. So I was pitching it to Jose. This is going to become like a kid's playroom / chill zone / family room, maybe a pool room. So I was like, oh, well, why don't we just keep these cabinets? Like these are wardrobe units. Why don't we just keep the 1, 2, 3 PAX units that I have down here? And we can put, I'll go to IKEA and I'll buy doors for them and we'll put doors on them. And then we can stow away like kids' toys and all sorts of different stuff. Maybe have them, I don't know, flanking this wall or this wall over here or something. And then we can just use them as storage for the family. So we'll just keep those here and then I'll just buy new ones for the studio because I still need PAX units for over there, but there's no way I'm going to be able to transport them. Billy units are easy to move. You just need 2 people. Like they're easy to move. I can actually move them on my own, but I just don't trust myself with the walls. I would definitely mash my walls going up the stairs and around the bend and out into the garage. I would destroy the walls. Same with the large sheets of melamine. So you definitely need two strong people for moving that type of stuff. But yeah, we got tons done today. That's 3 loads, 5 loads total for the entire city and everything underneath the city as well. Oh, such good progress today. I am absolutely fired up for the future because we're going to be moving all this Lego and setting it up at the new studio. It's the dream. Right on, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.